Hey yo! Hey yo, buddies. Hey yo, buddies! Long time no see. If you don't know me and if you're new here, my name is Ali Bobali. I'm a Twitch streamer and YouTuber. You might know me from my other wrestling videos. I've reacted to a couple of them, and it all started just because I have a couple of friends on Twitch who are wrestlers, and I thought it was crazy interesting what they do. And then the more that I've watched it, the more that I've kind of fallen in love with it, question mark. Today we're going to be watching Professional Wrestling is Stupid and Beautiful and I Love It by Super Eyepatch Wolf. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's geek out about wrestling.
Okay, I'm guessing right about now, a lot of you are wondering why the hell a video about wrestling is
Me
showing
too.
up in your subscription feed, and you are actually the person I'm making this video for. My goal here isn't to turn you into a wrestling fan, just to try and help you understand why so many people are.
Yes,
And
look at that
understanding
little
the world
kid.
around us is a good thing, right? Even the parts of it that seem really dumb and insane.
Holy mother of God!
Wrestling is fake. And no, not even in the way Game of Thrones.
What did he just say? You're telling me that shit's real? I mean, fake.
There as a highly choreographed physical theater,
Oh!
the goal of which is to convince the audience that what they are seeing is an actual competitive event.
I didn't realize that wrestling was fake until I found out from my friends who do wrestling, obviously, that are wrestlers. They were like, yeah, it's fake. And I was like, what? Because I grew up watching WWE and everything like that. And I thought that shit was real, okay? Like, these people would be bleeding. Like, what's so funny to me is that it's fake, but those thumbtacks are real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I don't get. I guess that's where yes, it's theater. Yes, it's choreographed, but I wouldn't call it fake.
Which also meant that now maintaining the illusion that wrestling was real was more critical than ever. And this is what led to the implementation of kayfabe. Kayfabe was originally a code word wrestlers used to signal to each other that there were fans or outsiders nearby, and so the illusion of wrestling would need to be maintained.
They had a code word. Wait, I love the idea of a code word.
And so heroic wrestlers known as faces were expected to be friendly and
John Cena.
heels were instructed
Yeah,
to be
heels.
unpleasant. Faces and heels were never, ever to be seen together in public. The illusion
Dang.
of kayfabe was fiercely maintained even well into the 90s. One fateful night on May 19th, 1996, an incident would occur that would destroy the illusion of wrestling, and it was an incident known as the curtain call. The curtain call took place right in the center of Madison Square Garden, and it involved a group of 4 wrestlers who shared an off-camera friendship and were known backstage as the Clique. When Michael straddled his unconscious opponent and revived him with a Snow White-esque kiss. Fans looked on, bewildered and stunned, and then, to add to the confusion, Hall and Levesque both came to the ring, and the 4 friends celebrated an emotional farewell.
They ruined it. They ruined the illusion.
Were these guys actually friends? Oh my god. The incident never aired on national television, but it didn't matter. The advancement of home camcorder technology alongside the rise of
I know
the
that's
internet
right. Yes, I know that's right. You kids know what that's called? A computer.
Which leaves us with the question, if wrestling is fake and that knowledge is widely known, then what then is the appeal of it? If someone wants to watch a genuine contest of skill and strength,
Yeah, you can watch that.
then
No, that's actually so true. If you're like actually wanting to watch people kill each other, watch MMA stuff.
this is a competition and this is a story. Wrestling, like so many other forms of fiction, is about telling stories.
Right.
I want you to look at these clips and forget for a moment that you're watching wrestling. Just try and imagine your own body performing these maneuvers. Think about the years of training it would take to be able to move like this,
No, I know. Trust me, brother. I'm with you.
and about the timing and
Woo!
trust.
He kicked him in the head. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why are we doing head stuff? Why are we kicking people in the head?
You need to have in another person to execute these sequences. And
Oh!
ask yourself, what is all that effort for? Just like film, just like Rakugo, what the performers are ultimately trying to do is make us believe that what we're seeing is real. And not only just in the staged violence, but also by embodying these characters and their emotions. Granted, that might sound a little weighty, so to show this, I'd like to use an example from a match from WrestleMania 8. From the outset, Piper is consistently out-wrestled by Hart, having each throw and hold countered and turned back on him, pretending to show respect to Hart to lower his guard before blindsiding him with a brutal closed fist attack, and begins to decimate his younger opponents with a string of vicious illegal assaults. Until finally,
Not illegal.
Hart, now bloody and battered, rallies until finally Piper, left with no other option, knocks the referee unconscious and grabs hold of the ring bell. But then there's just this beautiful little moment where Piper just stops and looks at the sea of people surrounding him and is left awash in a chorus of boos, the fans disgusted by his actions.
Brother, these people be acting. They're acting.
He throws away the bell, and the crowd explodes at this subtle act of redemption. Before finally, Piper is outdone one last time, accepts his defeat with grace, passing both the torch and his title to the newer generation.
Dang.
There is so much to this match. It's basically an entire fallen hero / villain redemption story arc told in 16 minutes without any dialogue.
Which is
purely
crazy.
Conveyed through the physical storytelling of both wrestlers. And you begin to see moments when the fictional world of kayfabe and the actual reality of the business begin to bleed into one another. And identifying the point where one starts and the other ends becomes nearly impossible. And to show this, we need to go back to the curtain call. The curtain call and its shattering of kayfabe was seen by many of the wrestlers and staff within the WWF as an appalling attack on wrestling. And so there had to be punishment. Someone had to pay the price for this transgression. The entirety of the blame fell on Paul Levesque, an upper mid-card wrestler with a lot of potential who seemed bound for greatness. And as punishment, his entire career was derailed, and he found himself at the bottom of the card once again.
Yeah, like if they write you bad, you're fucked. Like there's literally nothing you can do.
Now, let's take a moment that came 4 years later. At this point, Levesque had sweat and bled his way back to the top of the card, and had been reborn as title contender Triple H. And in an interview that was meant to be kayfabe, that was meant to be scripted, this happened.
Hey, watch your language. What, you want me to shoot with this interview? I'm gonna shoot with it. It's about 4 years ago, Madison Square Garden. I walked to the ring to say goodbye to my friends, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels. Who got punished for that, JR? Well, you know what? That makes me sick in my stomach. Every time I look at you guys, it makes me sick to think what you did to me, holding me back. You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR. There is nobody that eats, sleeps, or breathes this business more than me.
The thing to note here is that he's referring to events that never took place in the fictional WWF storyline. He's referring to things that really happened, and so ask yourself.
Bro, the tea is crazy. The tea is crazy! I didn't know that there was this much tea.
Who is actually speaking here? Is it the fictional wrestling persona Triple H, or is it the actual human being behind the persona, Paul Levesque, the person who had to actually endure the ire of WWF management for years and nearly saw his career ruined? And the answer is that it's both. It's both Triple H and Paul Levesque. And the result is that there's an honesty and an anger that's genuinely captivating, as the reality starts to fuel the fiction.
Damn, that shit's deep as fuck. They drove him to become his character.
As fake as wrestling can be, these are the moments when it becomes shockingly real.
I'm like getting emotional. This is like, wow.
I want to talk about the saga of the Golden Lovers. Our story begins in 2008 as two young wrestlers wage war on one another. The first is Kota Ibushi, a young, supremely talented Japanese wrestler who seems bound for greatness. And the other is Kenny Omega, a Canadian wrestler who, after seeing tapes of Ibushi's matches, felt destined to face him. And so he issued
Destined? I love this.
an open challenge to Kota, which Ibushi accepted, and so Omega traveled to Japan and a showdown took place that was messy, brutal, and mesmerizing. Ibushi eventually took the victory, but it didn't matter. Over the course of the match, the two wrestlers realized something. There was a connection here. Omega uproots his entire life and moves to Japan to be closer to Ibushi. And rather than become rivals, they form a tag team, initially being pitched as the Golden Brothers, but Omega and Ibushi prefer the name the Golden Lovers.
They're in love. That's what I was gonna say. When he said that he moved to Japan to be with him, I was like, yeah, they're in love.
Golden Lovers are on a level few other tag teams can even approach. There's a kinship and synchronicity here that fuels their matches. But what's more, they seem genuinely delighted to be around each other, both in the ring and outside it.
Oh
But
my god, I
slowly,
love them.
A gap starts to form between the two.
No, please don't break my heart after all this.
And so, on August 18th, 2012, after 3 years of partnership, the two face each other. And what follows is one of the most spectacular matches in history. Kota fighting for his pure love of wrestling, and Kenny desperately battling as to not be left behind by the person he cares about the most. But it's not enough. He cannot overcome the genius of Ibushi. And afterwards, both wrestlers look devastated. Ibushi continues to rise, even going so far as to face the legendary King of Strong Style Shinsuke Nakamura. But meanwhile, Kenny struggles without his former partner.
Why did they do my man Kenny so dirty like that?
Maybe with the Bullet Club, he could finally become strong enough to stand as an equal with Ibushi. And so, 2 weeks later, he emerges as their newest member.
This is all too much to handle. He joined the racist group of wrestlers because he was so hurt that he couldn't be with his Japanese lover.
In typical Bullet Club fashion, Kenny was expected to sabotage Ibushi, but he can't. He holds back for the entire match until its final moments, when Ibushi scales the turnbuckle and is seconds from victory, only to turn his head and see Kenny standing on the ring apron, and the two lock eyes. And Kenny becomes paralyzed between his loyalty for the Bullet Club and his feelings towards his former partner, and so fails to act. But this momentary distraction is just enough time for Styles to recover, and he counters Ibushi's attack for a crushing comeback defeat.
Wait!
Afterwards, Omega is visibly shaken, while Ibushi lies devastated both by the loss and the betrayal of his former partner. This new invincible Kenny Omega even makes it to the very final of the G1 Climax, the most elite wrestling tournament in the entire world. But his conquest has taken its toll, and he enters the match battered and exhausted.
Is his friend gonna come back? I need his friend to come back. I need his friend to come back, and I need them to reunite.
Brink of defeat. And as the light of victory begins to fade away, Omega reaches deep down inside himself, and what he finds is his old partner Ibushi, whose finisher, the Shining Star Powerbomb, he uses in a final sequence of moves to overcome Goto and take the win. And so finally he's done it. He's the best in the world. And afterwards, backstage, comes face to face with Ibushi for the first time since his betrayal. And Ibushi reaches out to comfort Omega, but Kenny cannot accept it. Things have gone too far. It's too late.
No, my lovers!
And culminating in a savage attack on Kota, only to have Omega furiously defend his former partner. This eventually leads to the Bullet Club turning on Kenny, destroying him with a vicious assault, only for Ibushi to run to the ring and save his former partner.
Yes!
And then,
oh my god, I would have lost my fucking mind if that happened. Oh my god. I mean, it did happen. But if I was there, I mean.
in a moment that's been 10 years in the making, the two finally just stand in the ring and face one another. Ibushi, desperate to reform their partnership, but it's just too late.
No!
Too much has happened and the scars run too deep. Omega cannot accept his former partner. After a
Why am I
story 10
crying?
years in the making, the Golden Lovers are reunited. What's so incredible to me about the saga of the Golden Lovers is that it's a story that could only really occur in wrestling. One that's about two people who felt a connection and formed something beautiful, only to later be torn apart by the different directions life pulled them in. There's a heart and a strife to this story that's so genuine and
Yeah,
real.
this is
And I think
beautiful.
that,
Oh
yes,
my God.
it's fake, but that doesn't mean it can't be honest.
Right.
It doesn't mean its stories can't be about real things that
Right.
we can all relate to. This is why I'm still a fan, why so many people are, and why I think, at least, that professional wrestling is fascinating.
I agree. Oh my God. You guys, holy freaking moly. I just want to say, damn it. They got me again. This is what happens. Every single time I'm like, I'm not going to do another wrestling video. Like, I don't care about wrestling. Me, won't me. And then I watch the damn videos and then I'm like, fuck, this shit's good. You guys, if you haven't, make sure you go watch the Super Eyepatch Wolf video. I'm sure that you have seen it. A lot of you already have. That's why you wanted me to watch it. Thank you to them for making that video. That was beautiful and incredible. And honestly, that was like, I was low-key moved. If you loved this video, please give it a like, give it a share, comment below. Tell me about wrestling. Comment your favorite wrestling matches. I'm sure I'll react to more. Go follow me on Twitch, Ali Bo Bally. Go follow me everywhere, Ali Bo Bally. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Eat lots of water, drink lots of food, and keep doing your best, because it's more than enough. Okay, bye.